Earl, up top, rising, layup, good. It's a triple-double for Bella Earl.
Those matched up with a speedy guard. Great screen, spin move, layup, he missed it. Williamson fights for the board. His putback is good.
It is the month of August, which means for those of us in the college basketball space, team previews. And on the Straight Outta Whack podcast this afternoon, we're joined by Southern Utah's Ava Uhrich. We'll take a look back at 24-25, ahead to 25-26, which features mostly a cast of new faces, and a look back at the WAC era for Southern Utah. Ava, thanks for taking the time to join us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. First, like I said, let's take a look back at last year. You guys finished as winners of 5 out of the last 6 in the regular season. Got to the WAC tournament, lost to Charleston State in that opening round game in Vegas. And then you guys graduate 140-something starts in the seniors and fifth years that graduated the program. When you guys came into the start of spring and summer this year, was it almost like starting at square one?
I wouldn't say starting at square one. I think beginning in the spring, and honestly, it was great energy. A lot of young players who are hungry. Those upperclassmen taught us a lot about, how to win a championship. Sam and Dela both won a WAC championship. So them leaving was obviously hurt us. But I think going into the spring, just the young players being hungry, ready to work, we're all hungry for that taste of a championship. So it was good.
You look back at last year, what clicked over that last, stretch that got you guys off of the play-in game in St. George and, to Vegas, straight to Vegas?
I think it was just like next play mentality, just realizing that, we're down 8-10, not letting that sink to, 10-20. So just keeping it between, 10 points throughout the games really helped us. I feel like in the last couple of games, we kind of went on a run there to skip the play-in game and head straight to Vegas. So I feel like that mindset, those last couple of games, that last stretch just really helped us a lot.
You talk about, the seniors leaving and not just the 140, like I said, 3 or whatever it is starts, but the leadership there in the program. Just talk about what you maybe have gleaned from that group in terms of leading a program, because basically the leadership role is you and Ashley Banks right now.
Yeah, I think they, like I said, they've won a championship before. They know what it takes. So just they're winners. They were winners. The last couple of years we've had a couple rough seasons the last 2 years, but just they kind of allowed me and other players like Ash and even Charlie and people who have been there, even the freshmen. Of just like speaking up and being confident. I got my leadership skills from them, and just them allowing me to like kind of be a leader when I started my freshman year. So just them kind of bringing me in and having that confidence in me that I can, lead a team.
How, we're in this kind of space here in the early part of August where are you getting tired of practicing against your teammates and kind of getting ready to that excitement level to go against somebody else is starting to ramp up, or are you just okay with being in practice?
I always kind of got that in me. So, I love my teammates. It's nice, you get to go against each other, but I want them on my team. So, some days you don't really get the same people on your same team. Sometimes you never get that one person on your team that you want to play with. That's just how it goes. So just being excited to like have everyone on that same side and going against somebody for a win. I'm hungry for, I think everyone else in the gym is, so it's exciting.
Taking a look at, the schedule for this year, obviously a couple of high profile games in the AFAC, Washington State making the trip, who was a WNIT team a season ago that Utah Valley almost knocked off, actually had a lead in Pullman, before they let the Cougars back off the hook. and then New Mexico State also making the trip to the AFAC. Just a couple of high-profile opponents there, a nice Big Sky road trip, and then the LMU tournament. How excited are you
Yeah.
for that non-conference schedule and a trip to the northern part of the Southern California coast for Christmas?
Yeah, I'm excited. I think, anything can happen on any day. So just going into it, it's always fun to play teams like that, being in kind of a smaller conference, I feel like, especially now with the WAC. Um, you know, and obviously traveling to LMU for that tournament just right before Christmas is perfect for us, get to go home just right out of LA. So it's going to be great. I think it's good. It's a good preseason for us, good challenge for us, and it'll be fun. I like preseason when, you know, bigger teams are coming to play us, especially in the AFAC. That'll be fun.
Um, just, what has Coach Mason's message to this group been, looking at, one of the younger groups that she's probably had since she's been at Southern Utah?
I think this year is just being fast. Again, having that winner's mentality, just having each other's back no matter what. Like I said, when they won the WAC, they didn't start off that great, so it's just bouncing back, and they went on to win the WAC. So I think just bouncing back after each game, and right now, I mean, we haven't been practicing that long, so it's kind of just coming to practice with that same energy, that same mentality every day, and that's what they bring for us. So we just have to bring it for them as well.
Okay, you mentioned the year that they won the WAC in 22-23. I want to take you back to that year. Had you signed at the time they had won that WAC tournament, or not yet?
I signed way before that, so the summer going into that, or the fall going into that year.
Okay.
So yeah, they hadn't won it yet, no.
So I'm sure you might have been watching the game. What do you remember about Sharita knocking down that shot out of the sideline out of bounds set?
Yeah, that was actually I was rushing home from practice at my high school, and my dad had the game on. My dad's a big basketball fan, and he just was like, "You got to watch this game." So yeah, I run inside. He's texting me on the way home as I'm driving home from practice. He was like, "You got to run inside. You got to watch the end of this game. Got to get here." And it just went back and forth, but it was fun to watch. It was fun to see the celebrations and stuff. So, and I knew it too right then. Right when she hit that, I was like, it's going to be a good run for them this tournament.
Well, and Michael Potter's call of that shot was almost iconic in WAC lore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's a new year with new faces. Just tell us about kind of the personality of this group and some of those faces that you think will stand out when we get going here in November. You guys open up with Park University at home before a quick little roadie and Big Sky roadie, and then you come back.
Yeah, I think just personality overall. Like I said, just energetic, passionate people, love to play basketball, love to just be around each other. I think that's the most important thing. Like, yeah, we play basketball, but, on the outside, like, we all love each other. We hang out outside, playing our sport, and we're like a family. So I think just that loyalty, that energy, and just like everyone's coming from different areas, especially this year. And, none of us have truly got a win. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't care. High school, I really don't care. I want that win in the WAC this year. So I think collectively having that mindset, all of us, like, we come to practice every day with so much energy. It's a lot different when you have a lot of young players who, we all want to play. We all want to spot. And so it's just a different type of competitiveness each day. I think one person who's really bringing it, Brooklyn Feely, transfer from a JUCO in Oregon. I mean, she should have been playing. I wish she would have been playing here the last, 2 years of her career. I think we play a lot alike, and just energy-wise, the passion, trying to do whatever it takes to get to that win, find it, just, digging it out. I feel like we're a gritty team this year, faster, but she's been really bringing it to practice every day. It's been fun to watch.
We talk about, in the summer, with school being out, how much, the WAC is a pretty tough travel conference, and, balancing the obligations between student athlete and, student and athlete, how many credit hours do you guys try to knock out during the summer, just to kind of lighten the load as you're flying across the country to all parts?
Yeah, it just depends. When you first get here, like the transfers and the freshmen, incoming freshmen, they'll take, I think, one class when they get here in the summer. I'm not taking a class this summer. A lot of the returners aren't. Um, just focusing on, getting better at basketball and getting in shape and stuff. And, when they have to come here, they have to have a class. So it just depends on the person, depends on, what you like. But I would like to lessen the load, but I also like my summer. So yeah.
Um, how once practice ends for the day, like what do you guys do outside of basketball to bond? Are there like community service projects? So, you all get together at somebody's apartment for dinner and a show or something?
Yeah, a lot of movies, a lot of pickleball. We play a lot of pickleball outside of practice and stuff. Like to get outside. Um, I mean, a lot of the, Cedar City's like community, all about family. It's super small, a smaller town. I wouldn't say super small, but like tonight we're gonna go to a fans dinner. Not a fan, I would just say family overall. We're going over to their ranch for dinner tonight with the team. So just, kind of finding those people like just tonight is just going to be fun to get together with people outside of or within the community and have dinner with them. So just things like that. Going to the lake, college stuff, I guess, regular people stuff that we do together. Yeah, eat dinner.
Okay, I gotta ask, who's the top doubles pair on the team on the pickleball ball court?
Ooh, probably Sierra and Denver. Ooh, actually, I don't know. Yeah, I would say them because they think they don't take it serious, and then it gets into it, and they don't want to lose. So I'd probably say them too. They like actually know the rules and stuff too. So
So do they end up officiating the other matches too?
yeah, I was gonna say they honestly like get bored of playing some of the people on our team because they're like too good. So that's how it usually goes.
Okay. Um, what the WAC obviously goes down to 7 teams this year, which means the
Mhm.
triple round robin schedule. Which do you get bored in that kind of a schedule, or just having that extra round, or how do you guys take that as players? Like, okay, you're gonna
Yeah.
play somebody 3 times this year as opposed to the double round that everybody else has done.
Yeah, I think it's different. I think, when we all saw it, it's kind of weird, like what we play team 3 times. Um, but I think it's also just like every game is a new opportunity. So we don't really like see it as like, oh, we have to play the same team 3 times. It's like, let's just win all 3 times. Like knock them out. I think it's more of like a challenge. Like it'd be kind of fun to be 1-1 with a team. That third game with them is going to be a lot more competitive than when you play them twice. So I kind of look at it as like that, and I feel like a lot of people on this team do. We don't really think. I wouldn't say it's like a sucky thing at all. I think it is what it is, and you just take each game like how you would treat any other game.
We look back at last year and some of the moments in that double round robin. Dela's floater at CBU to complete that comeback from what was it, 12
Yeah,
down, 10 down with
yeah,
under 3 to go.
yeah.
You guys hung
That
with
was kind
UT
of
Arlington all the way to the end. You
hmm
guys did some good things last year,
hmm
and now I think this is just one of those things where now you have to build on it with a younger group.
Yeah. I just like I said, I think this team is ready to win. I've been here for 2 years. Has been a little bit of a rocky 2 years. Just we've made it, but and we've had great games, played good teams, and um, but this team's different. I can just see it each day at practice. Everyone's just so excited to be there and to work for each other, and so I think being able in a game to find it with like and look at each other and be like, all right, like we got to pull it together. Like we're winning this thing is a huge thing for this group this year.
You talk about the last 2 years being really tough. In a
hmm
lot of situations, a player that has gone through the couple of years that you guys have gone through, will bolt for the transfer portal at the first opportunity. What
Right.
has made you stay in Cedar City despite, I think you guys have only won 15 or 20 games in your 2-year career so
Yeah.
far?
Yeah. I mean, the coaching staff, the community. A lot of people ask me that, and honestly, like, I take it pretty personal. You say something bad about Cedar, it's become my home. So I'm gonna take that personally. You say something bad about where this has become, like I said, my second home. So I take things really personal when it comes to the city and, this university and stuff, and this staff. This staff is like no other. That's the reason I came here. I was looking for a family type of feel, no matter what. Like, win, lose, like, I can go into Tracy's office and she's going to be there for me. Like, something happens in my real life, that's the first person I call here in Cedar. I mean, I stayed in Cedar this summer, and, we went out to dinner together. It's like a family here, and they worked out with me. And I just think that's the one thing that keeps people here. You don't see people on our team, like the last 2 years I've been here, the transfer rate isn't and the turnover isn't that big. And there's a reason, and it starts with Tracy and her staff, and the people that they recruit. We all just like love each other, like a family. So it trickles down, but it starts with Tracy, and that's the reason I'm here. She's one of the best coaches I've ever had, so if not the best.
And absolutely, there is something to be said for loyalty.
Yeah.
It's not almost non-existent in
No.
today's collegiate basketball landscape.
No.
I mean, we look at, Tiara Brown staying at GCU for 5 years, Bella Earl finishing 4 years at ACU, and not leaving despite.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's safe to say they probably got some offers to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said about loyalty, win, lose, or indifferent, draw.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a big loyalty person. That's built from my family and what my parents have taught me growing up. I've always been that way, just with high school teams, stuff like that. And, I get it. Like, sometimes you have to be selfish, but there's more than to winning. I love to win, but there's more to that. I want to be able to, if I'm having a bad day or there's something going on in my life that is bigger than basketball, that I'm not scared to go into my coach's office and, talk to them heart to heart. I can go into Tracy's office, any day and be like, Trace, like, I'm having a bad day today. A lot of student athletes can't do that. They can't go into their coach's office and have a relationship with each coach, to the point where I feel confident enough to text them and be like, hey, would you guys be willing to work out with me on a Saturday morning? They're there right away. And it's not just one, it's all of them. I could text all of them and be like, hey, I want to work out today on a Saturday morning at 7 a.m. and they're going to be there. I've learned just in the college space and the transfer portal and stuff like that. People don't care. It's easy to leave. It's easy to, say, oh, I don't want you here anymore, but it's different here. It's very different here, and it's not like that at other places, I feel like, just from what I've seen. But
okay, what's your favorite part about a recruiting visit from a prospective student athlete? What's your favorite part about that experience? Because you're a junior now, so you've been on both sides of the coin.
Yeah, I just think it's just real. Like, a lot of people say, like, you go on your visit and then it's different when you get here. It's the same. It's the same people that I met on my visit, the same community that I met on my visit has been the same people and community that have been with me the last 2 years. Nothing's changed. Had my back through, and that's not just me, it's everybody. Like, people really, get together here and have each other's back. So I think that's a big thing. I think, like I said, at certain times, there's people who go on visits and they love the school, so they commit there and they get there and it's like, oh, it was kind of fake on my visit. It's not like that here. Like, and I've noticed that just like from going on my visit, seeing them recruit other players too. They're the same people, they want you to want to be here. They're not going to sugarcoat it, and stuff like that. What you see is what you get, and it's just good people all around.
All right, let's do a little something called getting to know the T-Birds. With so many new faces, we'll spend a few minutes getting to know this team. Okay, who's the team's resident foodie?
Ooh, foodie. Ooh, that's a hard one. We all love to eat, so
Let me put it this way: who's most likely to, on a road trip, be on Yelp on the plane, telling Jay or whoever the GA is or the ops person where y'all want to eat?
it's hard because we got such a new team. So I would say it was Dayla last year for sure. She was always on that thing, ready to go. I feel like this year it's probably going to be like Charlie or yeah, Charlie probably.
All right. Who is most likely to be the last one to the team shuttle when you guys leave for a trip?
Courtney happened before.
Like 5 minutes before rollout?
Oh no, we were rolling out and we were like, "Oh, where's Courtney?" That was before a game actually, so I don't know if that counts, but I would either way I would say Courtney. Courtney
Okay.
or Bella, but Courtney first.
Okay. Um, who are we most likely going to find on, The Bachelorette or Love Island in 5 years? If those
Charlie.
shows are still around in 5 years.
Charlie, all the way.
All right. Who has the team's biggest sweet tooth?
Ooh, probably me or Brooklyn. It might be me. Might be me, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, who's the team's karaoke queen?
Ooh. Hmm. Karaoke queen. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm guessing Brooklyn.
She just has
So
that personality.
that personality. Oh yeah, she'll jump in. Yeah, it's probably Brooklyn.
All right.
Brooklyn or Val. Val. Val.
Okay.
New incoming freshman. We'll go with Val.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. All right. And who is most likely to be the last one to leave study hall?
Last one to leave study hall. Ooh, probably. Hmm. I'm gonna go with Sierra or Courtney. Yeah, Sierra.
All right. Um. Okay. Now we'll do a little kind of a rapid fire thing to close out.
Okay.
All right. What is one show that is on the Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, Peacock binge watching list this summer?
Ooh, this summer, what did we watch? We watched a good one. Forget what it was called, but ooh, we're been more into our movie thing recently. So a lot
Okay.
of
Pluck
Fast
a
and
movie off the
Furious series.
list.
We'll do the Fast and Furious series.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been watching a little bit of that. We watched the first one, so now we're about to trickle on. But yeah, I
Well,
would
with as
say
many as they made, you could probably have one all the way
yeah.
to
I
opening
know.
night.
That's what I'm saying. So that one's always a good one.
All right. Best and worst subjects in school.
Best, anything health, wellness, PE. Worst, anything math or science.
Hmm. You're talking
Yeah.
to probably one of the few people who survived Algebra 2 at like literally the line.
Oh yeah, that I do not mess with that stuff.
All right. Favorite road trip in the whack outside of the Utah trips?
Probably Seattle. That was
Uh,
last year, so
yeah.
I don't. Well, for this year we'll see.
That was popular when we asked that question last year.
Yeah, probably Seattle.
All right. Favorite off-campus dining spot in Cedar City outside of like the chain restaurants?
Centro, good pizza spot.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. And then let's see. Where are we likely to find you when you're not in the gym or in a study hall?
On the gym and study hall, probably on the couch with my dog,
Ooh, what's your dog's name?
Brandy.
Had her with you since you came in?
I got her last summer. Me and my
Okay.
girlfriend. Yeah.
So what's it been like being a collegiate athlete and a dog mom?
It's been good. My girlfriend is pretty much the sole caregiver while I'm, traveling and stuff. So it's been a good balance with her here. But we love it. We love taking her out and gives us something to do. So it's been great.
All right. Just one final question. We'll go off the rapid fire here for a bit. Just talk about the fan support in Cedar City and how maybe we get more fans into the seats in the mid-major women's basketball space, because we're not going to draw like the power teams do, but we should still be able to draw a decent amount when we got good matchups, right?
Yeah, obviously Cedar City has like the most loyal people ever, win or loss, no matter what. It's always the same faces in the stand, same faces, in the same seats every game, no matter what, literally no matter what. And they know every single player's name. We go to their house for dinner. We're just super lucky to have those people behind us, and just they love us for us, not the way we play or anything like that. So that's always nice. And I feel like getting more people to be in those seats is just, and I think we can bring it this year in the WAC, is having those passionate players, those players that are fired up. That's fun to watch. It's fun to play against, and it brings a crowd, right? You want those players that you watch, and they're always fun to watch. And I think, we've had a couple of those players in the WAC the last couple of years, and I think some of those younger players who are now becoming upperclassmen, and even the ones who are just joining college, are going to bring that this year, and I think it's going to catch people's eyes. So,
all right, I got one last question that I didn't think about earlier. You start the year 317 points away from 1,000. Is that something you keep track of, or is that going to be like when you get close, somebody's going to nudge you in the ribs and say, "Hey, you're like 10 from 1,000," and like, really?
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Actually, I'm just hearing that for the first time. So yeah, it's not really something I think about. I don't really know where to look for that, to be honest. No one really talks to me about it. Yeah, I don't think it'll be that nudge thing. I think it's just, play your game.
And then when I cross it, I cross it?
Yeah, when you cross it, you cross it. When you get there, you get there. Not really searching for it. So just searching for wins. All
right. Southern Utah's Ava Uhrich on a Wednesday afternoon here, about 90 days before opening night. Thank you so much for the time. Enjoy that dinner this evening.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Straight Outta WAC podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcasting platforms. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Remember to follow WAC Hoops Nation on all your favorite social media platforms.